You ready?
Yes.
Welcome to Unbothered Millennials. On this episode, we're gonna talk about Bollywood versus real life. Some of you may not know what Bollywood is, but I think everyone should know, right? But in case, go ahead.
Yeah. Bollywood is basically Hindi film industry, and I think it's top three. I mean, it falls in top three biggest movie industries in the world. Hollywood on top, and then I guess Bollywood, then whichever. And Bollywood, yeah, it's a Hindi film industry, and the name Bollywood came from Bombay plus Hollywood. So Bombay is the name of the city.
Oh, okay.
It's also the financial capital of India. So Bombay is the place where movies are shot. So Bombay and Hollywood, Bollywood. Yeah,
They didn't think much about that name.
and it's almost 100 years old now,
Oh wow.
I think.
So when did you start watching?
When did I start watching? That's an interesting question. I think I was around 10 or 12. I mean, I think every kid starts from the TV shows,
Yeah.
right? Watching
Whatever
cartoons and
is
stuff.
on in the
And then eventually your taste,
evolves.
exactly, your taste evolves and then you start watching movies. And then you're sitting in, entire family sits together, watch TV. So that's how it started. I don't exactly know, but I think I was 10 or 12 years old.
Okay.
You?
I think it's probably 6-7 years ago. Like it was even before you came into my life. I
Really?
didn't start watching because of you. I remember one day I was just sitting with my mom and we were like looking for someone to watch on Netflix and we were like, oh, let's watch like this film. It was an Indian film. We didn't know like that it was Bollywood. But I think after that, I don't even remember what film it was because we watch a lot. But after that, whenever we're like together looking for something to watch, it's like we type in Bollywood. It's like we made it a thing for us. Like whenever we're together watching something, it's something Bollywood.
It's very dramatic, I think, right?
Yeah, and even my grandma thinks that we started watching because of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was like, no, chica.
Yeah. So you started watching before we met?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why whenever you said like a movie or something, when we did a Netflix party, I was like, oh no, I already watched that. It wasn't because I watched it by myself, it was because of my mom.
Do you have any favorite actors from Bollywood?
Oh, I love Deepika.
Deepika Padukone?
Deepika Padukone is like,
Yeah.
besos, besitos.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She started her career with Shah Rukh Khan,
Mm.
who is also called as King of Bollywood.
And also, there's another one, Alia Bhatt, I think.
Alia Bhatt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
She's also great.
She's amazing.
Yeah. She has some really good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alia Bhatt, Anushka Sharma, Deepika Padukone. There's so many good actors.
Yeah. I don't know the names, but I follow like a couple of them on
Mhm.
Instagram because I like how they act.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bad actors also in there. Like,
They're
a
everywhere.
lot.
It's not just Bollywood.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were most like some of the things that you like about?
I think the stories are very fascinating because there are so many movies that I could relate to myself, especially when it comes to romance and breakups.
Yeah.
So I could feel, oh, this is my story.
Okay.
Movies like Tamasha. It was directed by Imtiaz Ali, who is my favorite director in Bollywood.
Okay.
So he makes movies based on like romance, breakups, and he would show how was the old era of love and how is current era. So those kind of cinema, those kind of movies, they are amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the fascinating stories and putting all of those emotions and stories into 2 hours and showing it to the audience. That's so magical in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of the stories are good, and I like that recently they started showing more like about the LGBTQ community,
Correct.
because I think that was a big taboo over there. I mean, it still kind of is.
It still is, but I think now it's evolving and people are accepting that it's normal to be
Yeah.
whoever you
Yeah,
are.
I watched like two. We watched like two already.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like of
There
those
was
stories. I
an
was like,
actor
wow.
called Ayushmann Khurrana,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was Chandigarh Kare Ashki, and the actress was a trans woman or
Yeah, I think it was
whatever
about
was
a
the
trans
case.
woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in
It was like,
Bollywood,
oh.
they are adapting that,
Yeah.
and it's really good.
Yeah.
You know.
What is your favorite like genre in Bollywood films?
I would say romance.
Yeah.
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 Because the way they have depicted romance since 80s and 90s, that's amazing, and it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
And the best actor for romance would be Shah Rukh Khan,
Mm.
in my opinion. And
I mean, he's the big actor in any movie. I think.
yeah, I think at one point he was the second biggest actor in the world after Tom Cruise,
Oh, wow.
like money wise, obviously.
Yeah.
And in the younger generation, like current actors, Ranbir Kapoor.
Mm.
'Cause,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that actor is very versatile, and he could
That
do
was
any
the ex
role.
of Deepika, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know my
Yeah.
already.
And he got married to Alia Bhatt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They already had a baby now. Okay. What else?
What about you? What do you think is so likable about Bollywood?
What?
What do you like about Bollywood?
Well, my favorite genre, I think it's also romance, because in romance you can see the better actors. Because in comedy, I think they put all the shitty ones, or not all the shitty ones, because there's also a good comedian. I don't know his name, but I also follow him.
Well, comedy is not that easy either, right?
Yeah, but it's even more funny when they don't know how to act. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It makes it even more funny.
But romance is hard, right?
Mhm.
If you are like a good actor and you can show emotions and everything, if you're doing it bad, then you can see it clearly.
Yeah. Like, some of the things I don't like is that sometimes they act too much.
Mhm.
That it's so fake.
It's overacting.
Yeah.
There are so many actors like that in
Yeah.
India. Yeah.
And also, oh my god, there was, well, I used to think before that Bollywood actors and actresses,
Yeah.
they were like complete actors because they know how to act, to dance, and to sing. And recently, I got my heart cracked
But
because
that's
you
not the
told
case.
me that they only lip sync.
Mhm.
I was like, ¿qué?
Yeah.
Because in Mexico there's like actual like movie actors. They're also singers and dancers, so it's like I thought it was kind of similar.
But there are some actors who are very versatile. So they are singer, actor, and some of them are also directors and producers too.
Okay.
But they are very few who are like very versatile. But yeah, and as a kid, the most fun part was like that's how we used to think about Bollywood. Like when you talk about the kissing scenes. Kissing scenes are real. Like two actors kissing each other.
Like, I think every movie is real.
Exactly. But when we were kids,
Uh-huh.
I don't know who told us. They were like, oh no, they are not actually kissing. So the actors would come this close.
Oh, and then
then there will be camera who would bring them closer, and then it would go lip to lip.
Okay.
I was like, oh wow. Because as a kids, when you watch movie, you see, kissing scenes, for example. It's very awkward.
Yeah.
As for the kids. And more awkward when you watch with your family.
Parents, yeah.
And we had an impression. Someone told us, "Oh no, they're not real kissing." I was like, "But how is it possible?" But it looks so realistic.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, there were two cameras that brings them together, and that's how the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the same in like Asian. Well, Bollywood is kind of Asian, right? Like it's on that side.
Yeah.
But like in Korean dramas, because I watch a lot of those, they do the same. Like they make a lot of angles, and it takes forever for the actors that like the main roles to kiss. Like it takes like until the last episode if they can. They do like a kiss, like boop. It's not even like that long, but I can feel how awkward it is because they do a lot of takes, and I can just imagine what's going on through their minds. Like, oh come on, we're done with this kiss.
I think back in, I would say 60s or 70s, when the Bollywood films were shot, the kissing scenes were not like glorified on the screen. So you won't see as so many kissing scenes or cozy scenes, whatever you call it. So what they would do is, so let's say there is a romance scene going on. So there is a song. So two actors are dancing somewhere on a mountain, and there's so many flowers and trees around. So let's say if it's the end of the song, and when they were almost going to kiss, they would show a flower on the screen like this, like
What?
yeah, rotating. So for example, two actors, they are like done for performing on the song. So as they would come closer, trying to have a kiss, so they would put a flower in the middle, and the flower would go like this. Yeah, in the old movies especially.
Okay.
I would say 60s or 70s. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it used to be. So Bollywood has evolved.
Yeah.
And see, from that flowers circling in the end to making movies based on LGBTQ. So that's far they have come.
Yeah.
Which is amazing in my opinion. Yeah.
Because also, I think for example, like the dramatic ones, you have to see first like who's acting. I think. Because that lets you know like how good or bad the movie is gonna be.
Yeah.
Because one time I don't know if it was real or it was only a meme, but I saw like a poster of a film, like Indian film, that it was like about a killer fly.
Killer fly?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember like the name because it's probably in Hindi or something, or Punjab, I don't know. But it was about a fly, literally a fly that killed people. I was like, okay. And then also sometimes the songs are too long.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
And in pretty much all the movies we have like 4 to 5 songs.
I think probably more.
Yeah, I would say 5 to 6 on
because
average.
Most of Bollywood films are like 3 hours long. Most of them. Sometimes you don't feel them because they're so good, but sometimes you're like, what the hell? I've been here for days.
Yeah. But I think current trend is people would figure out like who's the actor, and then they would decide if they have to go see the movie or not.
Yeah.
Right? Back then, I don't know what was the trend like back in 70s or 80s. But people still know, oh, he or she's a big superstar, so obviously we'll go watch their movie.
Even if it's bad.
Yeah.
So there's also a lot of actors that shouldn't be in movies, I think. Like Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's like a big thing in Bollywood, but I think it's everywhere in general. Like even if you go like for an interview or something, sometimes like the kid of the CEO got the job. So I think it's not, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not something like you can control.
Yeah. I think my views are different on nepotism. Nepotism is basically you're helping someone who you know getting into the industry.
Yeah.
It's not just Bollywood. You pick any industry. You work in movies or you do regular job, whichever industry you are into. For example, if I have a friend or I have a family, and obviously I would want to help them to launch them, right? Eventually it comes down to how audience would react to that. Because there are so many actors in India who would get launched because they have connections in the industry. But eventually it comes down to how long you want to sustain. Okay, I might give you one movie and I spend a lot of money on you. But if you are a flop, then you're a flop. Then nobody would want to cast you in their movies. That's how I see it. So helping someone getting into the industry is like, good.
It is good as long as you actually are passionate about it and like have the talent.
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
Yeah. Because there are like so many actors who have connections with the film industry.
Yeah.
And they come in the movies, you see them like, what the hell? Right? And after a few movies that they would do initially, you would never see them again.
Yeah.
There are actors like that. So what does that mean? That means audience do not accept you, and regardless if you have connections or not, if you are not a good actor, it's not gonna work. Same applies in sports as well. There are like cricketers in India who are supremely famous. their son tried to get into the sports industry to play cricket for the nation. They may got few matches initially, but now they are nowhere. So it's good and it's bad. It's like kind of mixed. Yeah.
Okay, so the topic was Bollywood versus real life, right?
Yeah.
So in most of the Bollywood movies, there's always a wedding. And how they put it is like a week-long wedding.
Yeah.
And like it's big celebrations
it's like a festival.
and all that.
Yeah.
So I want to know if it's real. Like if that's how it is in India.
It is real, yeah. The weddings in India are very traditional. It also depends on what part of India you're from and how you want to basically conduct your wedding.
Yeah.
If it's very traditional, especially in small cities or villages, because they have certain traditions and ceremonies that they have to go through. So if you're looking at 4 to 5 days of marriage, the first day would be inviting the guest, and the next day might be the music ceremony. The following day would be haldi ceremony, where they put the yellow paste on the skin, and then basically the final party where the wedding happens and the bride goes to the groom. Yeah. So, but I think right now, especially in the big cities, people just throw a reception. But if you go to the, I would say, more traditional side, to the smaller cities, you can still see 3 to 4 days of wedding. Because some people like it traditional. Yeah. Right. And your family, especially if your ancestors, your grandma and grandfather, they are also involved. So they want to do it very typical. Yeah. That goes for 5 and 6 days. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's how it is.
What things do you think are like similar to real life? From the films you've seen or like heard about?
I mean, again, as I mentioned previously, stories are very fascinating. They're very relatable. Yeah. So when I watch a movie that tells me my story, like I feel very connected and very emotional. So that's the best thing about the movies. Okay. Excuse me. And there are some movies who also expand your horizon and just opens up your brain that this is a message to the society. Some of them were like what's going on in the hospitals, like how doctors are ripping off the poor patients, charging them a lot of money, and then prescribing medicines that they don't need, prescribing the tests and procedures that they don't need, things like that. So it was a big you call it whistleblower in the industry. So those kinds of movies, like that shows you how society operates. And personally, for me,
also like the one we watched about the gynecologist, the male gynecologist. Yeah. And that it was very, very real to like India, right? Because it was a male gynecologist, so women didn't want to go there to him.
I don't know the name of the movie, but it was Ayushmann Khurrana, and that actor is from my city. Yeah. Nice. So obviously that industry is dominated by females, right? And he was the only one in gynecology department.
Yeah, because it's also again like a taboo over there. Yeah. Like, oh no, how will another man like open my wife's legs and check her up?
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you are a narrow-minded person, let's say you live in a village and you go to the doctor and the doctor is a male. And your husband is watching doctor opening his wife's legs.
But it's like normal.
It's normal, but again, depends on how people think. Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
I also think like there's a lot of similar stories that also remind me of Mexico, especially when there's grandmas involved on the stories, and they want to be like on top of everything, like control everything. It's like, oh wow, this is very close to home.
It's kind of like that, not just in the movies and in the real life as well, if I talk about India. Yeah. But now times are changed, like there's so much evolution because everyone wants to be independent, live on their own, live away from the family. So there's less of that drama where your mother-in-law or your grandma is involved, plotting everything and doing all the gossips.
Because also something I see, I think in most of them, most of the films, is that big families live in the same house, like the same big house.
Joint families.
Yeah. And he's like, oh my god, I could never.
Nowadays, I would say the percentage is very low. They're very rare people.
Yeah.
Maybe in small cities, because if they have a big house where like 10, 12 rooms, everyone lives together. But in this current times, I would say it's extremely rare.
Because I think it's more drama. Because everyone wants to be like controlling, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. And also I think the way they depict India in Bollywood movies is not entirely accurate.
Yeah, I mean, as well as Mexico. Like,
exactly.
As soon as you enter Mexico, you won't see everything in sepia tone.
Yeah, and I don't like about that because people build that perception. And it's not the fault of the people because that's what you show in the movies. So, for example, they'll show the poor side of India. Like the streets are like that and there are so many beggars on the street. Yes, there are. And they are everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the real India, the beautiful India, the good side of it, there's more good than how it's portrayed in the picture as a bad. Which I really don't like about how they show in the movies. Especially the one on Netflix where if you're looking at it in any movie, so they start with like streets and you have beggars and there's so much traffic and all the chaos.
Yeah, there's always so much traffic. Is it like that?
It depends on the city you live in.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not that chaotic, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, there's more good than what they show in the movies as a tiny percentage. That's really bad.
Okay. All right. So that's it.
That's pretty much.
Gosh. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to watch a Bollywood film, let us know. We'll recommend the best ones, or at least the best ones that we've seen, right? Like,
we have a big list, so we'll give you the best ones. Yeah.
So, thanks for watching, listening, wherever you decided to watch or listen to, and have a good day, night, or morning. I don't know.
Wherever you are.
Follow us on. What?
Instagram,
YouTube, Spotify,
TikTok.
We're on TikTok also.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched our previous episodes, please do watch. We talked about friendships, long distance relationships, money management.
Oh yeah.
So spare some time and please watch. We appreciate your time and support.